Hello everyone. Uh, Today, part of session 5. Now I want to discuss with you about a very important concept and very important tool in project management. Although you can use it for different concept as well, but it is very well known in project management, especially when you want to control your project. And the topic is earned value. Okay. We are going to review the different variables that exist and also the KPI of earned value technique. And I don't want to just read the formula and just give you a description. This is something that you can do it on your side as well. What I'm going to do is to give you a very simple example, and we try to follow the example and provide the information based on this formula, and we calculate it together and see how earned value can help, and also what is the meaning of each variable and each KPIs. Okay, I think let me search for a building 5 floor. Let me find a nice image first for my example. 5 floor building. Maybe this one is a good one. Let me check. Maybe this one. This is not 5 floor exactly. Maybe this one. Maybe this is our building, right? Let me get this. Okay. Copy. Paste it here. It's very small. Let me make it a little bit bigger here. Okay. Let's say we have a project that we want to create this building, 5 floor building, right? 5 floor for this building. And let's just assume that to build this floor, these 5 floors in this building, for each of them we need let's say $10,000. Okay, it's just an example. Okay, so let me draw some lines here. Okay. Okay. So this is 1, right? This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th floor, right? So as I said, for each floor the duration, let's say it takes 10 days to build and it costs $10,000. Just this example, right? It's just an example for each floor. Here and here, right? So let me close this. Okay, so if you move back to previous sessions discussions, you already done these parts. And basically you are at the beginning of your project execution, and You have all this information. All this information is available based on your plan. And you, at the moment, you know that for each floor how long it will take, and for each floor how much you need to pay, right, to build this project. So if you want to summarize for this project, the total cost is, let me copy, the total cost is total cost and duration should be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 days, right? 50 days, and total cost is 50,000, right? This is your plan, and you know for each floor how many days require and how much you need to pay. Okay, let's just assume this is your plan. Now let's say let me draw something here and say this was your original plan. Okay, now let's say 3 days passed. After 30 days, sorry, after 30 days, okay, now you will see what happened. Let's assume can I select here? Let's say, let me take a screenshot here. I think I can use it like this, and make it bigger. And let's say 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's say after 3 days you check the project and you see only 3 floor, not 3, only 2 floor is completed. Let me make it here like this. Okay, only 2 floor is completed. So basically what does it mean is still the rest of floors here, let me put it like this. Floor 3, floor 4 and floor 5 is not completed. Okay, it's still a plan. So what happened is after 30 days, what happened is only 2 floors completed. And also, let me put it here, something like this. After 30 days, only 2 floor is completed, and also the actual cost so far is 40,000. Okay. This is the information. So This was the original plan. After 30 days, do you remember the concept of updating? The same thing happened here. Now you received the update on your project plan, and they are telling you that okay, after 30 days our progress was only completing 2 floors and total cost is 40,000, right? Now let's start evaluating this situation, this case, with earned value formula. So you will get the idea what exactly are these parameters. The first 3 parameters here, these are fundamental in earned value concepts. Everything is going to created on top of these 3 fundamental formula here. Okay. The first one is planned value. Let me type it here. Planned value, or you may also find another name, BCWS, budget cost for work scheduled. The budget cost for the work that are scheduled and it's not happened yet. So basically the planning. In our case, how much is the planned value? In our case, remember, also don't confuse it here. This is the total, okay? Total for whole plan, 50 days, 50,000. Okay. Now here, planned value is. Let me repeat again. Budget cost. The amount of money you planned to spend on this project for work scheduled, for those work that you plan to complete until now, up to 30 days in our example. So in our case, because 30 days passed, your expectation was to complete how many floors? 3 floors. And how much you expected to be the cost of these 3 floors? 30,000, right? So here in this example, our planned value, or PV, is equal to 30,000. Okay, you get it? Budget cost of work scheduled, BCWS, and planned value, it's equal to budget multiplied by the percent complete. Okay, this is what is written in the formula, but what is the concept that you need to get is the planned value is telling you up to now, to the point that you updated your project, up to now, how much you originally planned to spend based on how much work you planned to deliver. Okay? If in this simple example, our original plan was every 10 days we deliver 1 floor, right? So after 30 days, expectation was to deliver 3 floors and also spend $10,000 for each floor. It means 30,000, right? So BCW, planned value, or BCWS, up to this time. Let me put it here, change the color. Okay, the BCWS or planned value is 30,000. Okay, because as I mentioned, if you consider this old name BCWS, budget cost for work scheduled, okay, how much your budget or planned cost was to spend for the work that you scheduled to deliver, you plan to deliver. After 30 days, the original plan was to deliver 3 floors, and each floor the cost plan was 10,000. So planned value of your project up to now is 30,000. Now look at the next one. The next one is a little bit similar but different. Earned value, EV, or BCWP, budget cost for work performed. The difference between previous one is previous one was based on the work that you plan to deliver, but now in EV is based on the work you actually delivered. So let me add it here. Earned value or BCWP. Now let me if you want to calculate this value, you need to say, okay, after 30 days it's mentioned budget cost, but budget cost for the work you delivered, you performed. How many floors is completed? 2 floors. And for each floor, how much you plan to spend? 10,000. So your earned value or BCWP in this example is 20,000 because you only deliver 2 floors, right? Now, the third variable here is actual cost or AC, and it's the data you get from accounting, how much you actually spend up to now. Actual cost or AC equal to 40,000, right? Because here it's mentioned after 30 days you spend 40,000. Okay, so you did this calculation based on and you will see now why updating in your project is important. If you do not update your project properly and clearly, then you cannot calculate the earned value parameters precisely. Okay, and then the earned value technique is useless for you. It's like it's totally connected to each other. Proper planning, proper updating the information, and then you can use the earned value technique properly based on an accurate information and accurate data. Okay, now let's continue with the next. Okay, now if I'm here now, there are 2 groups here. Let me select them. One is schedule variance and cost variance, and 2 other is SPI and CPI, schedule performance index and cost performance index. Let's review what are these. A schedule variance is can I copy paste it there? Let me copy paste this one. Okay. SV or schedule variance is equal to earned value minus planned value. So let me, if based on in our example, its earned value is 20,000, right, minus planned value 30,000 and it's equal to minus 10,000. Okay, now we also have cost variance, right? EV minus EC. So here CV or cost variance is, and remember this cost variance is related to earned value. EV, which is 20,000, minus AC, which is 40,000, and it's equal to minus 20,000. Okay. Now, how you can interpret this? Okay. First of all, to interpret a schedule variance and cost variance, the only thing that you can rely is if the result is positive or negative. For a schedule variance, if it's negative, it means you are behind your plan. But how much, it is not specified at. It is just telling you you are behind the plan. Right? You cannot rely on these 10,000. This 10,000 in SV or this 20,000 in CV means nothing. The only indicator that has meaning in these two indicator is if the value is positive or negative. That's it. Remember, don't misinterpret the value, the amount. The amount is not important for these two. Let me show you why. Let me give you an example. Let's say in a project, let me put it as project A. Project A, okay, and let me say now I have project B. Two example, okay. By two example, I'm trying to explain you what I mean. Only positive or negative is important, not the exact value. Let me copy paste these two. In case 1, and this is case 2. Case 1 is saying, let's say, let's say earned value in case 1 is 10. Okay. Planned value is, let's say, 9, or planned value is how much is good? 20. Planned value is 20. Then the SV, the result for SV is minus 10, right? For this one, let's say the planned value is this and actual cost is 30. Same, because the logic is same, doesn't matter. So this one is also minus 10, right? Now I have, this is for project A. Now I have project B. For project B, let's say the earned value is 1 million and planned value is 1,100,000. Okay, so Now the schedule variance for project B is minus 100, right? Same applicable for CV, minus 100. Now look at these two projects. Okay, one is saying SV and CV is minus 10. Another one is saying, project B is saying it's minus 100. If you want to consider the amount, the 100, the amount, the 100 into your interpretation, then it can create misleading, because situation in this case, project B, is much better than project A. Project A earned value is 10 and planned value was 20. Basically their performance was 50%. But here if you look at, the earned value is 1 million and planned value was 1,100,000. The performance is much better than the project A, but you cannot see the performance in this KPI. From SV point of view, yeah, true, both of them are behind from schedule, but the performance of the project A is much worse than project B. Project B is fine, it's okay, it's acceptable. But project A, no. So this is not something that you can see with the value amount here. But what is important is only if it's minus or positive. If it's negative or positive. See? Okay? I hope you get this idea. It's very important you understand this concept, because basically it is saying SV and CV is useless. That's what I want to tell you. SV and CV is useless. That's why there are other KPIs that now we want to focus, which is the second group, SPI and CPI. If you look at the formula, SPI similar to SV, SPI, SV, if you remember, earned value minus planned value. SPI is earned value divided by planned value. Okay. So let me calculate this for our case. So we have SPI, schedule performance index, equal to earned value, which is 20,000, divided by planned value 30,000, and the result is, calculator, 20,000, 30,000. I made the mistake, maybe 20,000, 30,000, 66%. Okay, equal to, and CPI is 20,000 plus 40,000, means equal to 50%, right? So now, before interpreting this, let's calculate the CPI and SPI for these are our example, previous example here. I mean this one, and you will see why SPI and CPI is better for interpretation of the status or the project. Okay, so in this case it will be 10 divided by 20, 50%, right? Now CPI is 10 divided by 40. Oh, I said 20, sorry, 20, so this one is also same. For this one it's 1 million divided by 1,100,000, right? So if I divide 1 million 1,100,000, oh, I missed 1,100,000, right? It's 99%. 99%. This is the performance. And same for the CPI. Okay. Now you will see why I'm saying if I put this, why I'm saying, because by this you can also know if it's you are ahead or behind. If it's above, if it's below 1, it means you are behind. If it's above 1 value, 1 is, it means you are ahead. And it also give you a sense on the performance. That's why CPI and SPI is much more practical and much stronger than SV and CV. Okay, so this one is what you need. This one is something you don't need, basically. Okay, that's what I'm trying to emphasize here. So this is a really good KPI. Now let's discuss on how you can interpret SPI and CPI, and that's very important. That's the important part for these two indicators. Let's say in our example, let's discuss on what does it mean, because the possible values is, first of all, you can have more than 1 or you can have less than 1, or equal 1. If it's equal 1, it means everything was according to the plan, right? If it's below 1, it means you are behind your plan. You are behind. And if it's above 1, means you are ahead. Okay, this is the first thing that you need to understand. And then let's discuss on what exactly this 66% means. For SPI, it means out of, remember, it's very important, out of how can I make it in the simple words? Let me tell it in this way. Maybe I start with the cost, then go back to the SPI, because SPI is schedule performance and CPI is cost performance. And maybe understanding the CPI, the interpretation of the CPI is a little bit easier for SPI, but if you understand CPI, you will understand the SPI. Let's start with CPI. Let's say in this example, because this is the actual cost, right? Based on our formula, this is the actual cost. This is the amount of money we actually spend in our project. And this is the earned value. 20,000 is earned value. So basically it is saying our performance to convert our money to the value in our project was 50%. Okay? In other words, it means we only gain value for half of the money we spent. Okay, but it is not saying what happened to the rest of 50,000. That's a very important concept. Let me give you, let me write it, maybe it's easier. Okay, because it's a very important concept that you need to understand and you need to put it in your mind. If CPI is 50%, it means half of the money we spent on the project converted to value for our project, and the rest not. Okay, when it's not, what does it mean? It not. It means it can have many reasons. Okay, you may try to. I'm trying to explain this with different examples so you get the idea. Let's say you have a very efficient team and your planning is accurate, but after updating your project, you see the CPI is 50%. CPI is 50%. It also means you 50% of money is stolen. Someone stole your money. Just pick the money, run away. And for half of your money, your team managed to deliver 2 floor, right? It also means your team are not working efficient. It can also happen. I mean, your plan was to spend 10,000 for each floor, but in reality you spend 20,000 for each floor. It also means it can also, how can I say this one? Someone put fire on half of your money. Okay, it can also happen. Let's say you injected 40,000 in your project and someone just put fire on $20,000, right? And that person managed to build 2 floors with 20,000. It's same meaning, right? It's the same concept. Either if it doesn't matter if they honestly work but they were not efficient, or someone stole the money, or they put fire on the money. At the end, the CPI is telling you that you only got value with 50% of the money, and 50% of your money wasted. And this waste can be stolen by someone. They put fire on it. They didn't work efficiently. They made a lot of mistakes, right? Okay, but I gave you very, very, very pessimistic case, but there is also another reason. For another reason also you can end up having CPI by 50%, and that reason is your initial plan was wrong. You cannot ignore this fact. If the initial plan was wrong, then the whole calculation for the CPI and SPI is wrong, because everything is based on your planned value. If the planned value is calculated by mistake, your cost, for example, your cost estimate was wrong. Another example is you didn't see some of the work that you had to do during building these floors, and your initial estimation was wrong. So what I want to say is, true, the CPI 50% is not good, it's bad, but you need to investigate and identify what is the reason for this CPI. It can be, as I said, someone stole your money, your team is not working efficiently, or for me, worst case scenario, for me, if you ask me, I rather someone stole half of my money than I see that my initial plan was wrong. Because at least if I see half of my money stolen by someone, but I managed to deliver 2 floors with half of those money, at least I can be confident that my original plan was correct. So for the rest of project, I have better confidence. I just need to find a way to prevent someone steal money, right? But if I see, oh damn, the whole planning is wrong, then I have to come back and reevaluate, reestimate everything from scratch. You get my point? I hope this concept to be very clear for you, because it's very, very important. This is very important for you to understand. And same concept for the SPI, but SPI is a schedule performance index. So in this example, it means out of, for example, 60%, right? 60%. Let's say 60%. Out of 10 days work, only 6 days is creating value for your project. 4 days waste. This waste can be, for example, someone is if someone was planned to work 10 days, that person works 6 days, and for the rest just playing PlayStation or video game. Or that the poor guy is actually trying his best, but his performance is like 60%. It means the performance of your resource is not aligned with the expectation of the resource that you used for your planning, right? Or it can be similar, or similar to CPI, your initial plan was wrong. For example, let's say I'm estimating that we have a task, and that task is someone needs to run 100 meters in 5 seconds. Okay, that was your plan. But when you see the person, for example, Usain Bolt, right? Let me bring his face. Usain Bolt. This guy. It's nice to have it in our example. Okay. Let me back here. It's not a bad example. Let's say plan. Just a silly, small example. Plan is a person to run 100 meters in 5 seconds. Right? Let's say this is a plan. This was your plan. Then this guy is coming, a legendary runner, so you cannot question his performance, right? For running, you cannot question the performance of a guy like Usain Bolt. And his result is Usain Bolt record for 100 meter is 9 seconds, right? And he's doing that 9 seconds. So the actual is 9.5, but your plan was 5 seconds. it's close to 50% below what you expected, right? But are you going to say Usain Bolt has a problem? Are you going to claim that Usain Bolt didn't run properly? Usain Bolt played PlayStation instead of running for your project? No, because your initial plan was wrong. This is the problem. This is the wrong estimation in this example. This is perfect. This is the perfect performance you can get from this guy or any other person, any other resource. That's the best performance you can get. You should be more than happy to get this result. But because your original estimate was wrong, now CPI or SPI or CPI is showing very bad result. And it's not the problem of resource, it's not the problem of that someone stole or someone didn't work efficiently. It's a problem from planning. Okay, so this is also a very important concept that I want to emphasize here with these two. Okay, I hope it's clear now, or more clear. Now let's see. Okay, so if I want to categorize these, so far you had 3 variables. It's easy to calculate them. If your plan is accurate, if your plan is updated properly, you can easily calculate them. And also you can ignore this. You can have SPI or CPI that gave you a sense on the performance of your project. Okay, let's keep this. And then you have other indicators here, other parameters here, and these are basically for estimation. That's the beautiful part of earned value. These are for estimation of the future. The SPI and CPI is your performance, your current performance, and these 3 is related to estimation for the future. Let's start with the first one. Okay, EAC. Let me bring the formula here. Okay, copy, bring it here in our example. Oh, our example is very... Okay, let me add it here. Okay, EAC. To calculate the EAC, actual cost plus ETC. Let me remove this one because I don't like this formula. I prefer to show. You can find on internet different formula, but I prefer this one because this one is giving you better understanding. The interpretation of this formula is better. Basically, that's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, let me calculate. For EAC, or estimate at completion, which is trying to predict how much this project is going to cost based on your current progress and based on your performance. Okay, that's what it's saying. In our example, for example, AC is your actual cost, right? In our example, how much was our AC? 40,000, right? Let me put 40,000 because if you remember, after 30 days a report was you had 40,000 cost plus. Okay, now in this formula here in this section, what we have basically is the remaining work. Okay, BAC, or budget at completion, which originally was 50,000, right? So if I want to put it here, it will be 50,000 minus earned value. How many floors we created? 2, and each floor 10,000, so minus 20,000. So it is basically is the remaining work, the remaining floors that you need to create. How many floors left? 3, right? Third floor, fourth floor, and fifth floor. But you can be a very optimistic person. You say, okay, up after 30 days, it's true, our performance was very bad and we managed to build only 2 floors, but from now on suddenly something changed and our performance will be perfect, and for the rest of 3 floors we are going to spend, because each floor is supposed to cost 10,000, right? And from now on each floor will cost 10,000. But it's a very optimistic. But when you include the CPI in this formula, CPI was 66%, right? Basically what you are doing is, if our cost performance index so far is 66%, at least it's more logical that I assume that for the rest of the project also I'm going to have similar CPI, right? So in this case, let me calculate the, it is 30,000 2,000 45 plus 45,000 actual cost, let's say 85,000. 85,000. So what sorry, it's EAC, my bad. What EAC is saying, EAC is saying so far here, let me highlight to this one. EAC is saying so far you spend actual cost, you spend 40,000. You need to still, you have remaining work, remaining work, right? Remaining work. You still you need to deliver this amount, which is 30,000, right? And your current CPI, this is CPI, your cost performance index is 60%. So based on what you actually spent and the amount of work that remained and your performance, we expect, this is estimation, we expect that you complete this project 85,000. So why this calculation is very important in project management and earned value, and because after 30 days it is giving the alarm to project managers, stakeholders and project owners that be careful, if you continue like this you will end up spending 85,000. The original plan was 50,000. You will be 35,000. You will spend 35,000 more if you continue like that. So better you find a solution to improve your CPI, because you cannot do anything for the actual cost. It's a money that you spend and you cannot recover that, right? But what you can do is improve. You find the mistakes, try to solve it, and improve your CPI. Or maybe your original plan was wrong try to replan, update your plan, recalculate the earn value, and you may see that you are maybe even ahead of your plan, because your original estimation was wrong. Okay, now let me, so this is EAC is very important. Okay, now let me check the other points. Then estimate at completion, estimate to complete. Okay, and to complete performance index. I'm letting you, I just like a small homework, or to try to interpret these two similar to EAC. Okay, try to understand the intention similar to what I try to explain you for CPI and SPI. Interpret it. Try to do for those two as well. Okay, if you have a question, put it on comment, right, and I will try to answer. And one thing I forgot about the CPI and SPI, let me add it here, is normally we say if CPI and SPI is in between 1.2 and 80%, it's okay, it's normal. Okay, but if it's too much ahead or too much behind, you need to be it should be an alarm in your mind, it should be a red flag in your mind. Or even if the CPI and SPI is exactly equal to 1, it should be an alarm for you. It's just from the experience. If you see SPI and CPI, half of the project is passed, and you see everything is according to your plan, it should be a red alarm for you that maybe something is wrong, really wrong. Okay, let me put it here as well. And I hope you enjoyed this session. Earn value is one of my favorite topics. I really like it, and I also hope you also enjoyed this session. Let me put it here. So from updating session 4, we reach to session 5 for earn value. Okay, 1 hour. Okay, have a good day, and if you have any question, just put it in the comments, and take care.